Oke teman-teman, balik di Rio Channel bersama saya Rezeki. Dan di video kali ini kita akan lanjutkan kembali permainan kita di game Honkai yang mana telah diupdate ke versi 2.1. yang mana pada review kemarin kita sudah mencoba memulangkan si acheron dan berhasil teman-teman, meskipun di hard PT. Tapi sebelum itu saya samakan, jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe channel ini supaya bisa semakin berkembang, karena satu subscribe dari teman sangat berarti dan bermakna bagi saya. Kita tanpa lama berbahasa-basi lagi, langsung saja kita menuju in-game-nya, yang mana kita akan mengerjakan misi Trailblazer, yaitu dengan judul Iblis Berbalut Beludru. Oke, let's go. Langsung saja teleport ke sini. Bagaimana dengan teman-teman? Apakah teman-teman menggacha si acheron ini atau milih nge-skip? Karena di fase kedua ada aventurin dan juga Jingliu, hero-nya Jingliu. Oke, bicara dengan si aventurin. Oke.
Friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin.
Kamu tidak salah lihat, itu memang dia, penyanyi terkenal Robin. Tapi bagaimana mungkin?
First of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Authorized by the Garden of Recollection and owned by the IPC. Did you really think the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line. Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Alfred's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin, her misfortune was staring right at her.
Siapa yang akan menjadi korban?
Who will be the next to die?
Sebaiknya kita tak percaya siapa-siapa.
It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Everyone's got their own agenda. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheron. After all, Any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is finished.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one. And there's no...
The IPC is not the garden. And there are real... Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to... I told you, I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Pentagony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but the family wouldn't even take our calls. You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely cover up any news about Robin's death. It'll just quietly float off like a bubble and pop. Nobody... That's not fair, right? So then, friend, I need your help. That's fine. I'm not forcing you. But I'm really not asking for much, so why don't you at least hear me out, okay? I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few chunks first. Once I find a weak point, the IPC will have plenty of means. Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. While also gaining a valuable bargaining chip for bringing the family to the table. Truly a once-in-a-blue moon opportunity. I've been investigating and making lots of friends all over Pentagony precisely for this very moment. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family, so they'll be doing everything they can to stop it leaking, especially to the IPC. But I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions, and that's why I need you all. The reputation of the Astral Express precedes you.
Dan harmoni akan memberi kalian penilaian yang paling adil.
You get to find out really what happened and seek justice, and I get to put it toward completing my mission for the IPC. It's what you call a win-win situation.
Inilah yang kita sebut saling menguntungkan.
Don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companions. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look, here's my contact details. If you come to any conclusions, call me. Oh, and take this. A thorough investigation can always use a little more funding. Don't mention it. So long, friend. I really am looking forward to uncovering the truth about death with everyone.
Aventurine just sauntered off.
He really doesn't mean to force it, but something still seems off.
Tapi rasanya masih ada yang tidak beres.
What now? What are your plans?
Bagaimana sekarang, apa rencanamu?
Black Swan.
Apa yang dia pikirkan ya? Oke, bicara dengan Black Swan.
On the surface, this
Kesepakatan
doesn't
ini
look like a
kelihatannya
bad
tidak akan
deal for
merugikan
you.
kamu, tapi Aventurine adalah pedagang yang
Aventurine
cerdik.
is
Dan
a
rencananya
shrewd
tidak
merchant
akan
whose scheme
pernah
won't just be
sesederhana itu.
doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet.
Dia belum tahu
But
tentang
judging by
Firefly,
your reaction, he may
tapi
have
dia
noticed
mungkin menyadari
something going on
adanya
and deliberately shifted
sesuatu yang
topics to the
sedang
truth of death.
terjadi dari
Try and
reaksimu.
pull
Dan
you in
dengan
line
sengaja
with his way
mengalihkan
of
topik
thinking.
menjadi kebenaran di balik kematian.
That's quick thinking
Pikiran yang
and
sigap dan
very
logika yang
sound
jelas.
logic.
Aventurine tidak
Aventurine
tidak
is no
bodoh.
fool,
Dan bekerja
and
sama
working with
dengannya
him
pasti ada
definitely
risiko
has its
tersendiri.
stake. That is something
Itu
I
aku
agree
juga
on.
setuju.
Anyway, be
Karena
careful
mohon
out there.
hati-hati di luar sana.
There's more than one
Ada
way to
lebih dari
blaze a
suatu cara
trail.
untuk merintis sebuah jalan.
In a
Di
dark
tengah
forest
hutan gelap
beset by
yang dipenuhi
wolves,
serigala,
ensuring your own
prioritasmu
escape to
adalah
safety
pastikan sebuah
should be
jalan
your
keluar yang
primary concern.
jalan keluar untuk menyelamatkan
As
diri.
for the other
Terkait
question,
pertanyaan lainnya,
I'm not sure the two
aku
cases were
tidak yakin
committed
kedua
by the
kasus
same
itu dilakukan
culprit,
oleh pelaku yang
but
sama,
that
tapi luka
massive
besar itu
wound
tampaknya
looked like
seperti
a
sayap
twin blade.
pedangnya. Kita semua juga
We've
pernah
all witnessed
menyaksikan
it in
dalam
action
aksi
before.
sebelumnya.
Plus, it seems
Ditambah
unlikely
sampai
that
saat
there
ini
would
belum
be
ada
two
kemungkinan
lethal
adanya
entities
entitas
loose in
kedua
the
yang bisa
dreamscape.
menyebabkan kematian di dalam dunia mimpi. Apa menurutmu hal ini ada hubungan dengan acheron?
Sorry, I can't
Maaf, aku
answer
tidak
that
bisa jawab
question.
pertanyaan itu.
That
Ranger
ranger
itu
is
terlalu
shrouded
misterius.
in
Sepertinya
mystery.
tidak akan
I'm
ada yang
afraid
bisa
no one
memberimu
is capable,
jawabannya.
but without a
Tapi
doubt,
tidak diragukan
she's
lagi,
the
dia
most
tamu paling istimewa di
special
perjamuan ini.
guest at this
Sepertinya
banquet.
yang baru saja dikatakan
like
Aventurin,
Aventurin
kamu
said
sebaiknya
just
menjaga jarak
then.
darinya.
Two victims appearing
Dua
one
korban
after
muncul
the
beruntun
other in a
dalam jangka
very
waktu yang
short
begitu
time
singkat.
span. In and of
Kejadian
itself,
ini
that's
sendiri
very
sangatlah tidak
unusual.
biasa.
Two
Ada
possibilities.
dua kemungkinan, runtuhnya dunia
The
mimpi
collapse of
Penakoni mulai
Penacony's
semakin
dreamscape
cepat,
has
membuat
started
kematian
speeding
semakin
up,
gelisah dan
making
melemahkan
death
pelindungan famili.
extremely agitated and
Atau
weakening
semuanya
the
sudah
family's
direncanakan dan
protections.
dilaksanakan oleh
If
seseorang.
someone has
Kalau
chosen these
seseorang
victims
memang sengaja
deliberately,
memilih
first
korban-korban
a
ini,
smuggler,
pertama
then a
seorang
family
penyelundup,
celebrity,
lalu seorang selebritas
then this
famili,
murderer's
maka motif
motives
sang
are
pembunuh
worth
patut
thoroughly
diselidiki
chewing over.
secara menyeluruh.
It's all happened so quickly, I can only make
Oh, misteri dalang di balik dua tragedi sebelumnya namanya itu. Berpulangnya si Firefly dan juga si Robin.
Come
Ikuti Black
this
Swan
way. It's a short walk.
keluar dari hotel.
Don't get lost.
Di Black Swan.
This way.
Lewat sini, kita
This
berpisah
is
di
where
sini.
we part
Semua
ways.
ini bagaikan mimpi buruk.
Unfortunately, the
Sayangnya
remembrance
memori tidak
doesn't
berbohong.
lie.
Apa yang baru
What we
saja kita
just
lihat adalah
saw is the
kenyataan yang terjadi.
reality that
Dan ia
happened.
tidak akan
And it won't
terlupakan
fade
begitu
from our
saja,
minds
cuma
just
karena kita
because
bangun
we. But
tidur.
follow your
Tapi
heart.
jangan takut dan
Don't be
ikuti kata
afraid.
hatimu. Setiap
We
orang
all
di
walk
dunia
through this
menebarkan
world
bayangan
casting shadows of different
dengan panjang
lengths.
yang
And
berbeda-beda.
ultimately,
Dan pada akhirnya
all we
kita pun
leave
akan
behind
meninggalkan
are
kenangan yang
precious.
berharga.
Hold on just a sec.
Sebentar. Gaisma membelai telingamu dengan lembut, meninggalkan sentuhan yang dingin.
There you go. A small parting gift.
Ini untukmu,
If
sebuah
one
hadiah
day
perpisahan
you
kecil.
unfortunately
Kalau
fall into the deep waters of the
suatu hari
memory
kamu
zone,
tidak
and there's
beruntung
no
dan tenggelam
memo
di
keeper to
kedalaman
join
memory
you,
zone dan tidak
hopefully it
ada
can
momen
guide you
kiper yang
on my
menemanimu,
behalf.
hadiah ini akan mewakili aku.
I
untuk
also pay
menemanimu.
great attention
Aku
to the
juga
ways
sangat
of the
memperhatikan
world.
hubungan antar manusia.
Just
Anggap
think
saja
of this
ini
as an
sebagai
apology
permintaan
from
maafku
me for
karena
hiding
sudah
something
menyembunyikan
from
sesuatu
you.
darimu.
Then I've something
Aku ada
private
urusan
to
pribadi
take
yang
care
harus
of regarding
diurus.
that Galaxy Ranger.
Mengenai Galaxy Ranger
Let's
itu,
leave
kita
things
sampai di sini
there.
dulu ya.
What fascinating memories will
Memori
you bring for me next
menarik
time we meet?
seperti apa yang akan
I sincerely look
kamu
forward
bawa
to them.
untukku saat kita bertemu lagi nanti. Kita tunggu loadingnya dulu dong. Sampai Riot, kamu masih di hotel dunia mimpi. Di hotel di dunia nyata sangat tenang, tidak ada masalah apa-apa. senang mendengar kamu selamat. Ya itu tidak macam-macam kan. Tentang masalah yang menimpa Nona Firefly, aku turut bersedih. Lokasinya telah ditutup oleh famili. Kami sedang negosiasi dengan perwakilan mereka. Sebentar lagi selesai. Nanti ketemu dengan dekat patung Loki.
A family rep. Is Himiko okay?
Kita di patung Loki tuh. Sampai
So much has happened.
itu banyak hal yang terjadi. Aku harus meluangkan waktu
I should take a
untuk
moment to gather my
pikiranku
thoughts
dan menunggu mereka
and
semua
wait for
datang.
everyone.
Beberapa waktu lalu di kedalaman memory zone.
That blade now, Ranger.
Oh, pertarungan antara si Acheron dengan
still
si
dream, Hunter?
Sam.
Of those slain by your hand?
Beberapa hari lalu di Everflame Mansion. Oke, duduk Inferno.
It appears
Sepertinya
the
hasil
outcome
sudah
has
ditentukan.
already been determined.
We're still alive.
Mereka masih hidup sama
As are you.
sepertimu.
We still have room to make a
Kamu sudah
choice.
punya ruang untuk menentukan pilihan.
Leave the music
Tinggalkan
box
kotak
behind.
musiknya, lalu
And go.
pergilah.
Choice.
Pilihan jejak destruction yang berdarah-darah tidak
The
menyisakan
bloody
ruang
trail of the
keraguan.
destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
The Taurus fire demon.
Iblis api Vetora.
Even
Bahkan
if you
kalau kamu
sacrifice
mengorbankan
your life
hidupmu,
for that eon,
Ion itu kamu tidak
You
akan
won't
mendapat
get special treatment.
perlakuan khusus.
Ranger,
Ranger, kamu
you
menapaki jalan
tread the
sempit Tuhan.
narrow path
Kamu
of the
tidak
heart.
akan pernah bisa mengerti.
You could never understand. We come from
Kami
the fire,
berasal dari
and are
api dan
born
dilahirkan memandikan api. Kami menyebar, membakar dan membinasakan sampai semua kayu bakar padam dan hanya abu yang tersisa di tanah.
burning form
Pembakaran
the
membentuk
entire
seluruh
life
kehidupan
of a
iblis
fire.
api dari awal hingga akhir. Kami dilahirkan untuk mati dan mendemonstrasikan sebuah kebenaran universal. Segala sesuatu diciptakan oleh untuk destruction.
Your companions don't seem to think so.
Rekan-rekanmu sepertinya tidak
They
berpikir
fight for your
demikian.
chance of
Mereka
survival.
memperjuangkan kesempatanmu untuk bertahan
They
hidup.
are my children.
Mereka adalah anak-anakku dan sama sepertiku dulu. Mereka adalah api
They
yang
are
belum membara.
flames
Mereka
that
masih
have
muda
yet
dan
to burn
aku
my
tidak
heart.
menyalahkan mereka.
My
Tapi nyata apiku sudah semar
And time is
dan
running
waktuku
out.
sudah hampir habis. Apa kamu bisa melihat planet perayaan di kejauhan? Aku akan membawa neraka bersamaku di tempat itu. Jadi sebelum itu aku harus menaklukkanmu.
Why?
Apa?
Because on the
Karena di jalan yang
path
sudah
they
mereka bentuk, kamu sudah melangkah lebih jauh dari aku.
emanator.
Emanator. Jadi apakah si acheron ini emanator?
You
Kamu tidak bisa menyembunyikan identitasmu. Keluarkan pedang itu. Kita ditakdirkan untuk bertempur di tempat ini hingga titik darah penghabisan. Karena ini adalah pilihanku.
destruction is
Destruksi itu
intense.
intens tapi singkat. Berpegang teguh pada kehidupan, sama seperti menjalani kehidupan yang berkepanjangan tanpa henti.
Even if the answer
Sekalipun kalau
turns
tidak,
out to be your own
kalau
destruction.
jawabannya ternyata adalah
What is
kehancuran.
important is
Yang
not
penting
the
bukanlah
answer.
jawabannya, tapi adanya sebuah jawaban, sama halnya dengan segala sesuatu yang untuk dihancurkan. Emanator pun
Everything
demikian.
just as even
Sama seperti mimpi indah yang mungkin lahir dari kehampaan. Hal yang dianggap mustahil itu hanyalah sesuatu yang belum terjadi.
All right.
Baiklah,
I
Aku
accept.
terima tantanganmu.
You shall
Kamu
witness
akan menyaksikan api yang paling cemerlang dan dahsyat yang pernah ada. Semoga nyala api ini menerangi kejangkauan terjauh mimpimu.
May this flame illuminate the farthest reaches of your bottomless dream.
Sebentar.
A bottomless dream. Yes, that's right. But you've made one small mistake.
Oke. Mimpi yang
This
tidak
blade
berujung.
remains in its scabbard not out of
Oh,
pity
pedang
or
merata-
scorn.
Seiring dengan perkataannya, tangannya pelan-pelan menumpu di atas genggam pedang.
I'll reveal the truth to
Aku
you.
akan beritahu kamu
The
kebenarannya.
hunt.
Han bukanlah pet
is
yang
not
aku
the path.
jalani. Oke.
May death be
Semoga
the end of
kematian
your
menjadi akhir dari
boundless
mimpi
dream,
panjangmu
guiding you back
dan
to the
menemukan
waking
kembali ke dunia
world.
kesadaran.
I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet.
Tahan dulu, waktumu belum tiba.
My time.
I've seen many clever
Sudah melihat
disguises
banyak
that can
penyamaran
conceal
cerdik yang bisa
appearances.
menyembunyikan penampilan,
They can never
tapi
cover
mereka
up who
tidak
a
pernah
person really
menutupi
is. And you're no
diri mereka
different.
yang sesungguhnya. Kamu pun
You
demikian.
had no desire to kill
Kamu
the
tidak
trailblazer.
punya keinginan untuk membunuh
You
Rhea.
only did what you did to
Kamu
drive me
cuma
and the
melakukan
men keep her
apa yang
away,
kamu
but
lakukan untuk mengusirku dan
Why?
memungkir. Tapi kenapa?
did Destiny's slave
Apa
make you
Disney's
do
Life
it?
yang membuatmu melakukannya?
You know,
Kamu tak
Elio.
Elio.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice. However, you appear to be ignorant of this, so it's time for me to inquire. Who exactly are you?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little wonder that I know something about the Stellaron hunters. That's all. Maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So, I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help, but I can give you a suggestion that would make things better for you and me. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death,
Already on it.
and the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next, then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for him?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way. But as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed.
The so-called impossible is merely something that is yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, can I ask you one more thing? Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on. I don't.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you? I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality. For a little light, and to burn, to keep on burning. So, I really envy you.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
Okay. Saat ini di Golden Horn.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black Swan, but we never expected Miss Robin to...
I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you then.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from the dreamscape. Just like that memo keeper said. Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them. Starting with finding the murderer.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something. March, do you remember what that family rep who negotiated with us said?
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity of the deceased. That's how it was put, in reference to Miss Firefly.
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time. And he also failed to mention anything about the earlier murder, too.
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news gets out, Penacony's going to turn into a bloodbath.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from outside. The Charmony Festival is nearly here. They must be snowed under.
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow and let more people on the scene to control the situation. After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The family's first protective measure should be against malicious actors among the guests, such as that IPC envoy.
Indeed, he was particularly concerned about that Galaxy Ranger.
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons for accusing Miss Acheron were highly subtle.
At this point, I'm afraid the only ones we can trust are ourselves.
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then we go through them, eliminating contradictions one by one. The fewer facts remaining, the closer we are to the truth. I've still got this sense of foreboding. It's like we're stuck in a whirlpool, spinning around that legacy even after everything that's happened.
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But before we start, what are we going to say to the family and Aventurine?
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. Plus, this is the family's turf. As for that Aventurine, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiations while running circles around us all the while. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. It wasn't forced, but the intent was obvious. Still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Aventurine showed his skills, and as far as our interests are aligned, he can become a reliable ally. We also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC helps balance that out. If either side makes a move, we have the option to pull out.
So you suggest accepting Aventurine's proposal to team up?
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both sides have played their cards before making any further judgments.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. He's been bullied a few times now, and I can't stand it anymore. You're like a broken record. Forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him. If that doesn't work, we can just turn the tables and use him instead.
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine? Everyone, take this time to put together your thoughts.
Kita chat si Aventurine. Kami sepakat untuk memenuhi permintaan kerjasamamu. Bagus, ternyata kamu membalas lebih cepat dari dugaanku. Dan sekarang kita harus saling membantu. Semoga kerjasama kita bisa berjalan lancar. Aku kasih hadiah kecil supaya kedepannya lancar-lancar terus. Makasih bos. Wah, mantul Pak Bos. Bos baik banget deh, makasih ya. Ups, tadi aku salah pencet nominal. Nih aku tambahkan sedikit lagi, semoga sukses. Persis seperti dugaanku, family mau mengubur masalah Robin dalam-dalam. Jadi kasus ini cukup kita saja yang tahu. Di sisi lain, ayo kita lihat alasan apa yang mereka siapkan untuk kalian. Aku permisi dulu ya. Aku nantikan penampilan memukau dari kalian semua.
Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it.
Oke, kita akan lanjutkan di next episode. Oke, sekali untuk video kali ini. Next kita akan lanjutkan lagi permainan kita di game Honkai Star Rail. Kita akan lanjutkan story-nya. Tapi sebelum itu saya semakan, jangan lupa like, komen, dan subscribe channel ini supaya semakin berkembang. Karena satu subscribe dari teman sangat berarti dan bermakna bagi saya. Lagi kata, saya Rizky di Riot Channel undur diri dan mengucapkan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you on next video.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared.